What's up, guys? This is Corey.
This is Alan.
And welcome to CNA Films and Animation. Well, today we are going to be talking about the 2013 film Rush, directed by Ron Howard and starring Chris Hemsworth and David Bruhel. Film follows 1970 through 1976 Formula One racers James Hunt and
Niki Lauda.
And follows basically their the time that they meet to their throughout their rivalry and their more or less hatred toward each other that pretty much pushes them even further and further, trying to become world international champions of Formula One racing.
And along that journey, they come to respect one another, and they come to be almost friends.
Yes.
Almost.
I'm not sure if I said it before, but I'll say it again anyway. Film is based on true story, and it follows, like I said, James Hunt and Niki Lauda, two real Formula One racers, and it just kind of chronicles their lives, their hatred for each other, their motivation to try and beat the other, and the tragic events that follow with Niki Lauda.
Yes, and his miraculous recovery.
Yes.
And their journey to become champion.
Yeah. For those who don't know, we'll go ahead and spoil it, I guess, because it is history. Niki Lauda was in a car accident a racing accident in August 1st, 1976. During a race, his tire flew off? No?
It was, the track was wet, it had been heavily raining. He didn't want to race, but everyone else did, pretty much. And after having a pit stop, he was starting to become behind in the... Yeah, he pushed it a little too far, a piece broke on his car, and he ended up wrecking.
Yeah, and he was engulfed in
flames for over a minute, unable to get out before another driver was able to pull him out.
And there he went through recovery for over a month. Well, about a month.
He recovered in a month, and a month later he was back racing.
Yes.
Which is phenomenal. They had to, his lungs were burnt. They had to vacuum his lungs out.
And, he had to get skin grafts and everything, but he miraculously recovered and pushed himself, even though he probably shouldn't have been, got back in the race and, did his best throughout the final season.
Yes.
And honestly, the film, like I said, it depicts 1970 to 1976. Focuses for a good portion of it about the crash with Niki Lauda, but it also focuses on James Hunt, shows his lifestyle. He was very, he's kind of a ladies' man. He drunk. He was a heavy drinker and loved to party, loved women, was involved with drugs and other things. He just kind of had lived the high life, and he, was just a damn good driver.
Yes. Niki Lauda, on the other hand, he didn't have the overall racing talent, not the natural skill. His was made talent. He was cool, calculated. He knew about the car. He knew about everything on it. He knew how to push himself, push the car, and not take any unnecessary risks. Unlike Hunt would take any risk he needed.
Yes.
The two men's egos and just ways about how they go about it. Worlds apart.
Mm-hmm.
And for most of the movie, they don't like each other.
Oh yeah.
They downright hate each other.
Yes. You know, James Hunt's very arrogant, but then again, so was Niki Lauda.
Yes.
Both were very hot-headed and were very both were kind of assholes.
Yes.
In their own special way.
Yep. About the easiest way to describe that. But after the wreck,
Mm-hmm.
they start to develop a respect for each other.
Yes. Certain events happen, and you know, whether whoever wins really doesn't matter, because the film really focuses heavily, and I think one of the most important things about the film is not necessarily, you know, just the race to see who wins the national championship, but it's more of each character building, you know, growing upon itself. I'm speaking gibberish at this point. Basically, both characters grow throughout, from the start of the film to the end. They both grow.
They grow, but they're still themselves.
Oh yeah.
Hunt, he, to a point, he matures to a point.
Mm-hmm.
He's still the hothead, womanizing, drunk that he is, but he does grow up a little bit.
Yes.
And Lauda loosens up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They're still who they are, but they do change a little.
Yes. There's a scene near the end that really sold James Hunt's character for me. This is after the car wreck, and there's a reporter who is bad-talking Niki Lauda because of his
scars, his looks.
Yes.
And he goes along lines of, can your wife even stand to look at you? Can your marriage survive how you look?
And, you know, Niki Lauda understandably storms off, tells him to go fuck himself, more or less.
Yeah.
And, you know, James Hunt goes and beats the shit out of the guy. I mean, that scene really kind of was like, okay, James Hunt is more than just, you know, this arrogant prick. He's also shown that he cares about this guy.
Yeah.
That he hates to death. I mean, it seemed like, you know, there was a little bit of human in him. I know that sounds weird, but it's just, I gained respect for him as a person through his actions. And it really surprised me and stuck with me.
The acting in this film, really well done.
Mm-hmm.
It was like you're seeing these two characters from racing history, not just Chris Hemsworth and
David Bruhel.
Yeah. Really well done. I don't know Formula One history at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say I did.
No, neither do I.
Yeah, acting is really well done. I thought the direction was good.
Mm-hmm.
Any complaints about the film?
Honestly, no. I don't really have many complaints about this. The film was very fast-paced. It kept my interest. You know, very interesting characters. It was a character study, to be sure. You know, the racing scenes were, you know, very energetic and very intense, I'll put it that way. And I really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too. I do have a couple complaints, but they're not really about the movie.
Okay.
One is the way the film commercialized and the way the
Advertisements.
Yeah, it's advertised. You think it's a you know it's a biopic, but you think it's a biopic of Chris Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
It has Chris Hemsworth's face on there. And
James Hunt.
James Hunt.
Yeah.
Alright. Fuck. You think it's a biopic of James Hunt? It has Chris Hemsworth's face on the cover and it's advertised like that, so you're like, it's a biopic of him.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's a biopic of both James Hunt and Niki Lauda.
Uh-huh. And yeah, I mean, I do think that the advertising was a little misleading. I mean, I haven't watched a trailer for the movie in, well, probably since the first trailer came out. But I mean, going into it, I really wasn't sure what to expect. I knew it was about racers. I knew Chris Hemsworth was in it and David Bruhel. Knew it was set in the 70s, but I really didn't know who was the drivers it was depicting. So, I mean, I really didn't know a lot about it going into it. I'm not saying that that's entirely the advertisement's fault. I'm just saying that, from what little I had seen of it, it really wasn't very descriptive of what to expect for the film.
Yeah, and another, it's just a nitpick. Early on, when they're really introducing us to each of the characters, they show that Niki Lauda really had ideas about how to make the cars go faster, how to change them up, change the engine, and improve the cars. And they show that a couple times in the beginning half of the movie. They don't really show it any later.
Okay.
But for James Hunt, they show he's a womanizing party guy.
Yeah.
In the beginning and towards the end. So it's kind of same old, same old. Not necessarily same old, but kind of connection there.
Yeah.
And you don't get that really with Niki Lauda, but he is exploring other things. He learns to be a pilot or something. He has an airplane. So I guess you could say that's similar, but I'm just saying the way they set it up at the beginning, if he was so into it, I would think he would continue. He might not. I don't know.
Well, I mean, maybe after his injuries, he possibly valued other things than just racing.
That's very true. You can tell that during the final race.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I said, just a nitpick, but there may be reasons for that. Don't know. So what would you give this film out of 10?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I really wasn't sure what to expect, like I said, but I did enjoy it. For me, I'm probably going to give this a 9 out of 10. Very well acted, very well directed, and honestly, it was just a really entertaining film that, showcased these two characters very, very well. So yeah, 9 out of 10 or 4.5 out of 5 stars, whatever you want to see it as.
I completely agree. I'm going to give it a 9 too. Really like the acting, the direction. It does look like it's from the 70s. It mixes the elements of driving and the characters. It's not heavy-handed really either. A couple spots maybe, but mostly it's not. It tells an interesting story that with an ending with the whole what happened to these characters that I didn't fully see happening. But real life, you never tell what happens.
Exactly.
No,
go ahead.
Go for it.
Also wanted to say real quickly, great soundtrack to the film as well. A lot of great 70s hits throughout, and I really enjoyed a lot of the music.
That's good. Surprised this one didn't get makeup for Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because of Niki Lauda's scarring, burns. Very well done.
Mm-hmm.
You can really tell the pain in the character.
Oh yeah. And I'm actually surprised that David Bruhel wasn't nominated for Best Supporting Actor or even Best Lead. I mean, it could go either way, honestly.
Yeah.
But I was surprised he wasn't nominated. It could have been nominated for Best Picture, and I wouldn't have been, upset or disappointed in any way.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a great film. It got snubbed on a couple things, but you know what? It's been a tough year for film, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so did I.
So tell us, guys, have you seen Rush? If you have, what'd you think of it? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Share your thoughts on the film. Comment below. Let us know. We'd love to hear your feedback.
If you like this video, be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and be sure to check out our other videos. I know it's been a while since we've done it, but hey, our old videos are good too.
Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And as always, I'm Corey.
I'm Alan.
And we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you guys later.